Um, Hello everyone. Today is another pillow talk. Um, ooh, sorry y'all. It's another pillow talk. I would just wanted to say hello everyone. Welcome to checking or welcome back again, I guess. To another video. Um, yes, I have my iPad this time, not my laptop, because I don't know where it is. But yeah. For today's pillow talk, I was thinking of talking about, being I guess a creative is a good way to put it. Or just being a creative or being someone relating towards a creative mindset, I guess is a way to put it. I don't have much stuff written down. I do have something like relating towards being a creative, um, the aspects of being creative, and like I'm using the word creative here loosely, and I understand that, and I say creative as I don't honestly know. I know I'm saying this out of line, but like I don't know. There's multiple ways I use the word creative, and I use the word creative as someone with a more open mind, someone who's creative. Like if you know what if you know what I'm trying to say, please you understand. You like Cynthia Erivo. We're interdimensional. Right? And what I'm trying to say is basically like I just want to like say how it's like being creative and like the daily aspects of it basically like I know I know this isn't like world changing or anything, but I just wanted to like talk about it and see get some stuff off my chest, and yeah. Literally the only thing I have written down I believe is just saying just talk about being a creative. I was trying to think of brainstorm ideas, and um unfortunately it did lead me a path. But I wanted to introduce things that I do that I um what's a good word for it, that make my creativity stronger, Um people or you, whoever's watching this, might have something in your life or something um that you do, a hobby, um an activity you do that brings out the creativeness in you. It could be writing, it could be graphic design, it could be drawing, it could be sketching, it could be anything, it could be collecting, it could be building Legos for all fuck's sake. And that's what makes a person creative. You have the mind, you have the ability to think just so far beyond of things that are open and aware of things. And personally, I I just gotta say I love being I love being creative. Being or I love being a person with creativity, being someone with the attributes of uniqueness, if that makes sense. A lot of people have creativity, and it's great. It's amazing to see all these different people and views and opportunities that these people have being a creative, and it's so eye-opening. Personally, how I feel, I'm a creative at some things. I'm not great at everything I do. My mind goes so far as it could be, and it's broad. It's broader. I think it is. Some people say it is, not all people, but some people say I have that uniqueness or the aspects of uniqueness. Um, Honestly, I'm just gonna be away from my rambling. I'm gonna continue, but like I'm just gonna be rambling about all the topic about being a creative. Um I find it I find it lovely. I love doing things. I love creating things. I love making things relating towards my creativity. And honestly, if you are losing your creativity, the best way I would put it is find something that you maybe like lost a while ago, a thought or a goal or a dream or something that sparked your interest in something. And I want you to follow it, follow that spark, follow that idea you have, right? And pursue it. I had that for a while. I lost my creativity so goddamn long ago. I have it back now, but I could remember a time where I was just so like, un- I just had to do everything bland, you know? And that's kind of a dumb way of saying it, but I personally thought I wasn't doing nothing fun or rejuvenating or being creative. And I feel like that's what I am, being creative or having something with to do with creativity. And that's kind of where actually, where I fell under. But, you know, since we're here and I'm saying creative so goddamn much, let's give a true definition of creativity. Um, and this might sound dumb, but let's go with it. Creativity is the ability to generate new, original, and valuable ideas, or solutions, or products, blending imagination with practicality to solve problems, innovate, or express oneself in novel ways. Okay. I I don't know. It's just honestly, it it creativity does mean a lot in the definition by itself. And as I said, um, I have many things relating towards creativity. Um, an example I could think of is my writing. I used to stop writing for a while, and then I got back into it a lot because it combined so many of my interests and so many ideas of my head. It all started from me just drawing, me wanting to get back into a thing I lost for so many. I had an art block for so long, and it, I stopped. Honestly, if I can remember it, I stopped fifth grade of. It's a while. I know it's kind of insane, but I lost that like fifth grade, middle school, because I don't know. Nothing was sparking me. Nothing gave me passion to do what I wanted to do, and I started to pick it up again freshman freshman summer, and it kind of helped me develop something that I liked and that I imagined and that I created. And the joy you feel of creating something that you have spent time on and developing and making, I felt so good to have something of your own that you made, and it's great. It started from a simple sketch, a simple design. I had I loved I had a fixation on tattoos for a while, and it made me spiral into this plot or this idea for a novel or a story or a book, and it went from there. I created characters of my imagination, my creativity, me using the aspects and um I'm not trying to use the word aesthetics because I feel like that could fall into a, but yes, aesthetics, using so many different various ideas and personalities and style of characters and things and people, and to develop my own characters. Pinterest, don't get me on don't get me started on Pinterest. Pinterest is a world full of creativity and inspiration, that you could use to build up your creativity, of course. And honestly, I loved it. I have so many accounts in Pinterest. I know that's kind of crazy, but I think I have like 5 accounts, each one designated to a different thing or aspect. And one of them I created it just for my characters and just for my novel itself. And each character, you can tell who's who's what person is which, what style goes to who, and it's and that's what I meant. I had an idea, right, my mind, and I just put it in what I thought into these characters and developed it. And honestly, for people who like writing, for people who don't like writing, it really put my thoughts into paper. Literally, I know it's I'm just spouting stuff, but like it just it does a lot, putting your thoughts on paper or typing away a lot of stuff. And plus, I could say that each character uses a part of me, uses some stuff that I like or hate, or just like I put things that I enjoy into my characters, things I maybe want to, the goals I inspire to have in my characters, and even my looks that I really want to achieve, or things I want to have in my future, and I put them in my characters to have a connection with. And I remember writing out the the plot, I could say, and I specifically wrote how I want every character to connect with someone, to have a character for someone. And it's just all I want, to have my characters and my thoughts in my head and my creativity. I'm using that word so goddamn much, but using my creativeness and hoping people could enjoy it, you know? And when I look online to see other people's um, projects or designs or thoughts and ideas, it truly speaks so many things to me, because people took time to build that, to make it and pursue it, And it's I saw this one thing where this one girl, she was sitting. It was a TikTok, I know. In my last pillow talk was talking about how I try to not use TikTok, but unfortunately it got back to me. The rabbit got back. The white rabbit got to me. Basically, I know. But there was this one girl, and it was a video of her and her friend doing homework, and I think they were in college, and it truly spoke out to me. And it spoke out to me in the way it was shown. It showed her doing work on paper, while it showed her roommate living herself, drawing, using so many different ways, and just the feeling alone. And basically, what I'm trying to say was, for how many people that tell you to change your creativity, to put it into something else, or to box it and save it for something else, don't. And I know I'm still young, and I'm still in phases of life that people can tell you those things. And I sorry, chat. And it means a lot to see people lose that creativity, to lose that imagination that you have for aspects. I think that's, I'm a, I'm gonna put a word counter for how many aspects I have said, or so many ideas and so many thoughts you've built in your head of yours. And it's truly so sad how it is sad, because you you seen you see someone with so many different ideas, and it goes to something that, did they even want it? Was it the safe thing that people wanted? And it's it's just so it's ooh, fuck. Fail. Ooh, sorry, chat. I don't know why my camera fell. I think it's crooked. Wait, sorry. Going back to what I was talking about, but it just, it feels so, the lose of an opportunity, because it could mean so many different things. The way your ideas, it could have meant something. And not saying that it couldn't, or it did. Everybody has a thought, and they just need to give it a shot. They need to give it an opportunity. You can build so many things off of it, so many ideas, so many thought, thoughts relating towards it, and so many. And you can even help people with your own ideas, spark people's interests, spark people's thoughts with your thought. Everybody has a way of connecting through their imagination, through their creativity, and through their creations. you know so many people's own creativity got put into something and gave it to somebody else. And I see it as, a way of, passing it down, and to truly give it thought and development. You know, so many books and art authors could have been, so many artists, authors, musicians, songwriters, so many people could have gotten lost in a way of their lost in their creativity, just from being told, would you rather have that, or would you rather have the safer option? And it's so, I feel like, why would you choose the safe option? You know, I have the opportunity to choose my option, and a lot of people should have the opportunity to. I know that sounds kind of, that's not a way of putting it well, but um I feel like people should use their opportunity that they have, and pass it down to someone else, and build your own opportunity. Some sometimes building yourself as an opportunity is the best way you can have it. And I just, something I'm spouting isn't really good advice, and I know that. But I think overall, you should follow what you want to follow. Live live the life of the creative. That you want to live. Don't choose the safer option. Is that the doubt and risk you want to live with, of looking at someone else live the life that you want to live, or designate a life that you didn't want to choose from the beginning? And just choosing. There could have been so many options that you had. You could have made so much different connections from that decision that you've chose. So many friends, possible goal. I'm just rambling at this point, but it's true, and I feel like that you should live with that imagination. You know, make the things that you want to write the things you want to make, post the things you want to post, and I'm doing it even. I'm slowly starting to develop the things I want to develop. I'm slowly going into the things that I want to create, and you should too. And it's rough. It takes time. It's You might not see what you want to see at first, but it's gonna get there. And everybody's in this world together, even though it's still feels like a prob. That's not a good way to say it, but it's gonna take a hefty amount of things to get there. And you know it's hard. It's hard being creative, being that's kind of a bad way to put it, but like having stuff that you want to create might be difficult. But if you have if you had the possibility to create it with your head, with your imagination, do it. Use that time you had to create it and think about it, and use it to make that thought a reality. Make it Make the thing you wanted to make, write the thing you wanted to write, draw the thing you wanted to draw. It's going to take time to learn. It's going to take time to fully put the thing you wanted to think about on paper or on something else, but it's going to come out the way you want it to come out. There may be trials and tribulations following ahead, and I do mean it. I do mean to take your time and to develop the things you wanted to develop. To sorry. It's got hella hot in here, but um, to create the things you wanted to make and do it. Just do it. I I'm still young, and I'm still deciding what I want my life to be, and I know for a fact that I still want it to be the I still want to have creativity and want to have my own things and want to create my own thoughts, and not follow a moral compass. If I want to imagine it, and if I want it, and if I want to have that life that I imagine, and want to create for myself, I would want to have that for myself. No, It's another day of me rambling, but I just wanted to get that off my chest because I went down a giant pipeline of that things that really made me, swallow down and like almost tear up about and give a lot of thought to because it's just, I don't know, just in a life of, in a life where everybody wants to copy the latest trend or make things related towards, the biggest, or follow up against the biggest, person online, or follow or want to have inspiration, just create your own. Just create your own inspiration. Develop your own inspiration. I know that's kind of hard to say when there's so much stuff out there already, but there truly is something so broad and so wide and tiny as well. You can use anything you want and anything you have to inspire yourself to develop something new, you know? Chat, this might not even make sense. I feel like I'm just going off ranting and ranting, but yeah. Yeah. Sorry. A moment of silence of the the yapping I just had to do, but away from I I guess it's a satin. I it's a little hard feeling for me, of course. I don't know how it feels for y'all, but it's a little difficult for me to say. Um, I just want creativity in a world of replicators and trend followers and go getters, and I don't know. I just want people to follow their own creativity. Follow that little thought you have in your head. I may be repeating things in different words or in different sentences, but I truly do mean it. And that's all I really want to see. Follow that path that you have, even though it may not be the safe option. Do it. Do it and see where it lands you. You may get even more from what you wanted, or sorry, you may get more from this than you would ever get from another option. Follow that head of yours, follow the heart of yours, and see where it lands you. You you don't know the future. You really don't. And you only have now and the past, but the past already happened. So now, you only have now. You only have now. And I know people say do the things right now so you don't have to worry about it in your future, but what happens if it doesn't even matter in the future? You know? That what happens if the classes you take now don't even go into the things you've done later on? I know that kind of sounds like in school how you say, even I even say it. What does this matter in the future? Maybe it could help you. Maybe it could help you. Maybe it could help you in the future. That class you're taking, that program you're going for, that course you're trying to take. Everything could help you or not help you. It's just until what time figures out. And I know I'm making, and I know if I'm doing something that I enjoy and that I like, I'm going to am I going to use it in a way that I'm going to find it useful and develop who I am, develop the creativity, develop everything, you know? Technically, some people say everything is inspiration if you just look hard enough. That's not a quote. I'm not quoting anything. That's my quote. Okay? I'm not taking that from anywhere. I don't know if anyone has said that before. And did I just make a quote? But truly, if there is inspiration, everything is inspiration out there. The, just the harder you look, and the most tiniest thing, you will probably get inspiration from it. And I'm just like rambling. I'm literally rambling. And I really do have, honestly, the topic might not even be creativity at this point. It might just be something inspirational. Who knows? Or developing, or like I could say so many different things for this, really, truly. But I'm just going off. Going I'm just spiraling into different topics or spiraling into different things that fall under this big path of creativity and why everybody should have it and why you should have it in your daily life and have it everywhere you follow. And it should be everywhere. It should be everywhere. It is everywhere in in some places. And I feel like you have to surround yourself in creativity because I think that's where a lot of people want to be at. That's where I want to be at for sure. You know, just surrounded with so many people in there as inspirations. You know, the way they chose to be a creative and the aspects they wanted to have. And I would honestly say that if I could be able to have a choice of me being surrounded by creatives or me being surrounded by the lesser option, who knows? And sorry, I would rather choose a creative option, hands down. The lesser option is anything that could happen, like being against a creative. And who would want that? You know, who would want that? If I could, I would want to see a life if I didn't have being creative, you know? Having, and plus, being creative is also being unique. Being creative is also being smart. Being creative is being aware. Being creative is being developed, you know? Being creative can be so many different things, and it's better to be creative, you know? You can be creative with reading, you can be creative. I'm just repeating things. I really am. God damn. But I truly do mean it. That's not my like fourth time saying it. Um, but yeah, just do what you have to do to be creative, and yeah, it may be hard, it may be difficult, yeah, for sure, but it's worth it. You know, do the things you need to do to live the life you want to live, and don't don't go for the safer option. It may not be what you want it to be either way. Maybe you're not even gonna stroke. You may not even find enjoyment in it, and that's it. Having creativity is having the inspiration to create something. That sounds dumb as hell, but you know, I'm doing this. I'm having the inspiration and the thought and the what's the word? I'm having the triumph of making this, you know. I'm having my feelings, my thoughts being poured out to you about wanting to do something creative. And I'm doing that right now with making this, with making Pillow Talk. I want to have my feelings out there for people to, you know, listen to and maybe agree with, maybe disagree with. And I hope I can have that, you know, people could have that similar aspect of life with. And just do it. Just follow. Just do any, like I'm telling y'all, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. If I'm doing this, you could do it. And shit, I hate, you know, I used to be afraid to be on. I used to afraid of taking pictures. I used to hate doing all that and being recording myself for and for bleep sake, you know. And I'm putting this out there for people to listen to, for people to watch, even though it's just a little, just me, Jaden, talking to y'all on the screen, you know. And I hope you can listen to it well and maybe take something out of it. Um, and who knows? It's maybe my stuff isn't needed to be out there, but maybe it does for someone, you know. Maybe to find a connection with and to find someone to relate to. And I hope, like I said with my characters, that everyone can have someone to relate to. And I hope I could relate to someone that is out there maybe needing this conversation, you know? Needing someone to tell them to be against the safer option, to go what their minds and their imagination should tell them about, to be about. Look at the Pinterest board, you know, create one for yourself or write down the person you want to be in the future. Is there anything that's going to stop you from doing that? No. No, unless you stop yourself, right? Unless you stop yourself. And honestly, you're going to have to do it one day or another with something else. You're going to have to do it, you know. Maybe it's going to take a while, but you're going to have to do it. Yeah. This pillow talk, this episode, um, is really just me rambling, and I want to say thank you for all the people who got to this far. And I know I think I'm pretty loud and pretty talkative at this episode. I'm sorry. And I hope y'all can feel some sort of relativity, if that's even a word, to what I'm speaking about and to what I'm trying to say to many people out there, whoever watches this. And thank you again for staying this long. I mean, just talking and listening to me. I really do hope that y'all can take something out of this baby, or you wanted some reassurance with being creative and wanting to follow that creativity. And I really hope you do follow it. You know, we always need more creative people in our life. We always need more new things, more developments, more ideas. It's better because it could change something. It could change the way we do things, and that will always be better in a world that needs it. You know, the world needs more creativity. Thank you again for the people who are watching this. This is two, ooh, episode two, a pillow talk. Um, and yeah, thank you again. It was lovely talking to y'all and letting my emotions pour out. Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Have a good night, good day, good evening, or good afternoon. If you're going to bed, even, have a good night. All right. Thank you so much for listening.